Before we play golden goals, though, there is a small matter to address today. And we'll go to JJ first on this. And I'm going to ask you this question very directly, mate. How badly do you think you're going to destroy Manchester United on Sunday?
You know what? I don't think it will be as big of a beating as people think. I think we still beat Man United, but I don't think it's going to be a 7-0 or whatever. I think Liverpool like doing stuff the hard way. And if you recall, when we beat Man United 7-0, Liverpool were in the dumps. So no one expected us to be able to go and do that, and we destroyed them. I think we still batter them. I think United are they're in a terrible, terrible place. But for people that are saying it's going to be 8-0, another 7-0, I just think it'll be a comfortable win. I just don't think. Sorry to say, Terry, I don't think your players have the bottle to come to Anfield at this moment in time, and neither does your manager. So, yeah, comfy. Do I give my prediction 3-4-1, whatever it might be? I think we come out easy winners, but I don't think it will be as easy as people say. I think we'll make it a bit tricky. I think we might start off poorly and then have to come into the game. But yeah, nothing really to say on Liverpool's side. It's more to do with what United turns up, and I just don't have any faith in the players anymore. This cycle's happened too many times to back them in any way. I think with any kind of like proper face in front. So yeah, man.
Are you saying you're going to beat them by 3-0 and 4-0, but it's not an easy win?
3-1, 4-1, no, but it's not going to be a 7. A lot of us fans are predicting 7, 8-0, 9-0. I just don't think it will.
So that's the new standard. 7 is easy. Anything less than 7 is not easy.
Of course. 7 is easy. I mean, what is 7 not easy?
No, I'm saying you beat somebody 3-1, 4-1. It's relatively easy.
No, look, we know Liverpool can score. Are Liverpool going to be able to keep them out? We've struggled to do that in numerous games. So I see United scoring. United could score first, and we can make it. That's still difficult to come back from.
I'm just saying, 3-goal margin is quite simple.
No, it is, but it's context, isn't it? So if you're winning 3-0 majority of the game, and then they score in the last minute, then of course that's an easy game. But if United score first, and Liverpool have to then kind of wake up and switch on, and then score 3 in the second half, then that's a bit more of a tricky game. Do you know what I mean? Scores don't paint the whole picture, in my opinion.
This whole game reminds me of a reverse of last year, because it was United fans that felt that way about Liverpool. And, United fans felt it will be an easy win. And I was saying this to KJ before the show. So I'm just interested to see how it all plays down, because I think United were coming off the Carabao Cup win, and you lot were kind of in a slump, and Liverpool fans were a bit down and weren't too confident going into that trip. And I wonder if the reverse happens, if with all the confidence.
I thought about it. The difference is, I think mentally, Liverpool players didn't check out. I just think Liverpool players couldn't do what was being required of them. Our midfield couldn't run like that whole season. This season, I think like the players have checked out. Numerous players have checked out. They're just like, yeah, it is what it is. I'm hearing reports Jadon Sancho might leave in January, but is waiting to see if Ten Hag goes. You've got that whole rift with Varane. I don't know what's going on with Marcus Rashford. Is he? I don't know. Is he?
He had the sniffles.
Oh, the sniffles. Oh, that's great, isn't it?
We all have.
Yeah, it's just like I said, it's a different mentality. It's a different mentality. If this was, I think the mentality at Liverpool at the time is completely different, and you always saw kind of just sparks. You could see sparks. So we went and started that game against Real Madrid in the Champions League really, really well, and then we fell off. United have just been poor. And it's the players checking out more than anything. It's just they're not trying. It's the same things you keep hearing. I don't want to keep repeating it, but Roy Keane's probably tired of saying that you can replay anything that he's spoken about 4 years ago and play it today, and it still applies. It's just at this moment in time, it's boring. I can see it on Terry's face. He's just bored now.
Yeah, I mean, I what you said, Nath. The only way United get a result is 2 or 3 terrible mistakes at the back from Liverpool that gift us goals. Probably need them to get a player sent off as well, and then they miss all their golden chances. So there is a very, very, very slim possibility that the stars align and that happens. But that's as rare as rocking horse shit, legitimately. And a lot of United fans are hating on me. They're in my DMs. All the threats are coming. Keep them coming, by the way, people. I enjoy it. It's fun because I know none of you would actually do anything. You're too pessimistic. You shouldn't write your team off. what? There is no argument to suggest United are going to get a positive result out this game. Right now, what feels like a positive result is losing by no more than 3 goals.
I agree.
That is what feels like a positive result for me, because we are all at sea and we can't even stay in shape. So even the thought of going, right, let's put 5 at the back, 4 in midfield, be compact, hard to break down. We ain't got the discipline, the energy, the mentality to do that.
That's what it is. It's the mentality, Terry.
We don't have the mentality. We are absolutely weak when it comes to our concentration, our work rate. And these things should be the baseline prerequisite attribute that any player that is paid what they're paid at Man United has, and we don't have that. So I hate this game for so many reasons. It's that my two favorite games of the year, home and away to Liverpool. It's the first 2 games I check on the fixture list, and I'm absolutely dreading it. I am scared it could be an even bigger defeat than last year. If they score a few early goals and our heads go and we stop playing, we stop running, we are in big, big trouble. And insult to injury, it's on my fucking birthday. So it's all happening on the same day, which is why tomorrow night I'm out with the boys. We're out with the kids. We're staying up all night watching. I'm having a good time because I've got to have a good time. I'm going to have such a good time. I hope to be pretty numb, not dead, but just numb by the time that game starts at 4:30, because it's going to be hell. It is going to be 2 hours of hell.
But do you think you'll wake up in the morning, Terry? That's the question.
Yes.
No, I will. Yes. I will. Multiple reasons. I have little children, so I have zero choice. And a puppy called Rocky that will want me to wake him up. He'll be waking me up. He cries if I don't get up by about 8 o'clock. He wants to walk. But yeah, I'll be up. I won't miss it. And I'll be here afterwards when we get beat. I just hope it isn't that bad. And that's as best I can hope for, because we are an abomination, top to bottom, inside out.
Do you think the board I've waited for this game to then have a reason to go and sack? I mean, they've got a reason anyway, but do you think they're using this as a smokescreen, that no matter what the result is, unless you get like a ridiculously positive result, it could be a 3-1 loss, it could be a 2-0 loss, and it's just, that's it, Ten Hag, that's the final nail in the coffin.
Like if you win, by some chance you win, because there is that chance. I don't think it's a good one, but there is a chance.
Yeah.
If you win, do you think they sack him still, or do you think
that's the problem? That's how poor my club is run, right? Let's just say they're sitting again. If he wins, we keep him. If he loses badly, we get rid of him. If it's a small defeat, we'll prolong for a couple of weeks. If that's where you're looking at, if you're in a relationship and you're like, do you know what? We're going to go away for the weekend. If it goes well, I'm staying with her. If it's awful, I'm ending it straight away. If it's okay, I'll give it another couple of weeks. You should just end it there and then anyway. Yeah. And if that is even a thought in the minds of our board, he should be sacked regardless, because you don't really trust him. And one thing I'd say is this, and Man United fans may disagree, even if we win, do I think it's going to galvanize us and make us better and make us improve? No. What I will say is this, though, on the flip side, if Man United get a positive result, it's one of the most embarrassing results in Klopp's history at Liverpool. Man United should be getting nowhere near you. We are that bad. So that's where I would say there is a little bit of pressure on Liverpool. If they don't get a good result against us, I think that's more embarrassing and more an indictment of them than it is anything else.
What I would say, though, is Liverpool haven't had a big statement win this season, if I'm being fully honest. Like we've won games. We've won games, but we've been quite poor even in recent games. We haven't been flat out, fantastic in every single game. I think we can still get got at.
Bro, this Sunday, we will be there. We will be there this Sunday, bro. This is the statement win, man. I'm telling you. United have got nothing to offer.
And that's what I'm looking forward to. That's what I hope this is it. If not, we've got Arsenal. Hopefully, maybe we win this game and then we've got Arsenal. And that might be the statement.
The thing is, these United players, they do not have the minerals to go to Anfield and put in a fight. Because that is the thing. That is the thing that they've got to go do. They've got to go to Anfield and prepare to go to war with these Liverpool players. And they're not going to do that, man. These players are a bunch of toxic, overplayed, absolute twats, who need to be rid from the club. And the fact is, these players will let United fans down once again. They'll let the manager down once again, even though the manager's to blame for a lot of the stuff that's gone on. And it's not going to be a good afternoon. I do not see a world in which United get a positive result. I think it's going to be 5-0. I think it'll be 5-0 to Liverpool. I completely agree with Terry. Anything less than a 3-0 defeat, and I think United fans should be just taking a little bit of a thumbs up on that, because it could be so embarrassing. It's. I don't think people understand how toxic these United players are. You had Rashford sat on the bench the other day saying, "What the fuck am I doing here?" or whatever. Do you not understand how toxic that is? You got one of your players who's come through your academy saying, "What am I doing here?" I can't believe that has not made front pages in British newspapers. That is horrendous, horrendous. And he just gets away with it. I'm looking forward to this Sunday, man. I'll be watching it. The title race is on hold. I want Liverpool to crush this team and this manager who's a fraud, who calling out Klopp and Pep saying era's come to an end. Who does he think he is, man? Seriously, who does this guy think he is? Era's come to an end. Absolute clown. Well, we will be there. We'll all be tuned in on this Sunday. And if you get that beat down that we all think you're going to be doing, then I'm waiting for the statements, man. I'll be waiting for the Man United statements. You know what I mean? Because it's got to come. These players are washed, man.
Terry, do you think with Bruno's suspension that it may actually help you in a sense where you might set up more defensively? I'm just asking a question because
it's a good question. Man United, one of the biggest issues. Everything that RB said, by the way, someone in the comments said no Man United fans ever said there what RB has said. I agree with everything LB said. Sorry, I agree with LB 100%. You ain't been watching my channel enough. Everything he's just said there, I've been telling you, man, for a long, long time. Man United fans do this. We've got this inner toxicity amongst us as well. You know, I've just seen people, I'm not naming any of them, quote tweet and saying goodbye to Donny van der Beek. Oh my God, he was such a good player. I can't believe he didn't make it here. Completely different energy they have to say Bruno Fernandes. But then there's a reverse group that love Bruno Fernandes and will hate a Donny and hate a Martial. I just sit there as a Man United fan and I'm like, I'm just disappointed none of them have worked. You know, I care about the club. But we do this as a fan base. We push this notion of when we played well against Chelsea, there was no Rashford, and everyone went, "See, you dropped Rashford, better team." He didn't play in the next game. He got beat by Bournemouth 3-0 at home. You know, beaten at home by them for the first time in our history. This notion that if Bruno goes, we become a better team. It's so basic, it's so simplistic, and it's just wrong. I believe that we're probably going to have to sell Bruno Fernandes because I don't think he should be our captain. And I think when you strip a captain, you should sell them on. So I believe that with the new regime coming in to run the football operation, hopefully a new manager, hopefully a new recruitment team, one of the big sort of sacrificial lambs, if you want to call him that, of the team is a Bruno Fernandes as an example. And I think there needs to be a number of people like that sacrificed and moved on. You might not be able to do it instantly if a new manager comes in February. But come the summer, they have to be moved out and we have to improve because it is the lack of effort and trying. And the saddest thing about Bruno for me, and there's been multiple players like him, they weren't bad when they arrived. It's why when young Kobe comes on right now, he looks good because he hasn't been ruined by the first team. But give him 6 months and a year and he'll be suckered into it. Garnacho isn't improving how we hoped that he would. You know, the Man United fans turning on Casemiro at the beginning of the season. Oh, his legs are gone. His legs are gone. No, it's a system. And now we know it's a system because everyone who's played in that position has been dragged apart in that exact same way. The problem is with Man United fans, and I think this happens to clubs that struggle. And I'm sure Alex recognizes this within Chelsea. And I'm sure that Nathan and Nagao remember when it was like this all the time at Arsenal. Everything becomes about this player versus that player, this person versus that person, rather than thinking about what's better for the football club. The wins that fans can get, we're no longer winning trophies. So it's about winning almost like ideological battles online that my player is going to outperform your favorite player and this manager is going to be better than the previous guy. That's what we find ourselves arguing over all the time because that's the only way we can get a win if you see it in that way. And obviously all the struggling team fan bases do it. And it makes me sick, really. It makes me sad that we're in that position. So I don't know, man. This weekend is going to be honestly, if I could sleep throughout the whole weekend, I wish I could. If I could take a pause.
Just to clarify about the Bruno thing, I wasn't asking to kind of thing. I was just asking in terms of if you're going to have any chance of getting a result at Anfield, you need players that are willing to run and die for that shirt, really. And Bruno is as good of a player as he's not really maybe the person you need in a battle. You need someone who's got a bit more in there than that, you know. So that was the reason why I was asking that question.
You know what's funny? Bruno's different for Portugal. Bruno is very different for Portugal. Like when he plays for Portugal, and
all our players are. Most of our players are. Well, they're not. It's one of these things for me. I don't like how Bruno gets, but I understand it. And I understand it from a point of view, he shouldn't even be going that deep most of the time. I know you have to track back at times as a player. He should be at the other end of the pitch, having the ball fed into him in danger areas where he cuts teams open with his crossing and through balls and passes to try and create chances and scoring some goals running from deep. His first 2.5 years at the club, that's how he was utilised, and he was great at that. He had flaws, of course, but he was great at it. For the last 2 years, he's being used in positions that I don't think he's happy with. Rashford's very simple. Now, it doesn't mean they should down tools. It doesn't excuse the reaction they have. But I understand their frustrations. Rashford spoke about it multiple times. He doesn't like being on the right. He's not very good there. And now that's where he's been told to play. And I'm not suggesting that the manager, you shouldn't work hard wherever you were put. But when you don't have a good culture that enables players to sort of take that sort of that loss or you've got to play there. You add all these things up together and it creates a horrible environment. And there's almost a point at United now, and Twisted Bubba says something here, says, Terry, you criticizing other Man United fans causes toxicity. I understand that logic, but I think apathy is far worse. Just going, fine, that's how we are. Let's just sit here and accept it forever is crazy. And I also know, by the way, that Man United fans won't change until the club starts to become better. Because we've seen that with the majority of Arsenal fans. As soon as they started being a good team again, no issues. Spurs fans had 2 or 3 good games this year and all started saying we've got our club back or we've got our Tottenham back. It doesn't take long to turn it around. You just want to see good football and the club moving forward. And we had 6 months last year from around October until we won the Carabao Cup, where 90% of the toxicity in our fan base went away. Nobody was arguing about Bruno and Donny. Nobody was arguing about Martial and Rashford because we were winning, getting further up in the league and progressing in all the competitions we were in. So that's what it needs. At the same time, when I'm talking about the fans doing it, I'm not saying they've got to stop. I'm just stating that it's only happening because there's nothing else good to talk about. So it's the way it normally is.